Shall we begin?
Rasuke here, salutations, and you saw the title. This is a update. This is quite devastating, you know. So you saw the title, yes, Lost an Artist. I haven't posted anything. I was doing some other things for, the other video games, all the other playlists that I create. So I've been running around trying to find another artist and, doing my own. But it looks like, man, because I'm the creator. I'm gonna be 100%. I'm not an artist, but I do know some graphic design, more like logos and websites and things like that. And I can make, some pretty geometric and functionality UI kind of stuff. But as far as like drawing and creating characters and monsters and weapons, I could probably draw weapons or something like that. Not me. But what I am going to show you is the artwork that I have now. I don't want it to go to waste. I'll probably use, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I will continue on, but let's just go into it, and I'm going to show you the artwork that I have and explain some more things about it, because I don't know when the next update, I don't know what I'm going to do. I am going to be making more content. I probably will explain some characters and things like that. I am redoing the logo you see below. It's Klash Warlocke. I am redoing that. It's fine. It was out of the gate. But yeah, I've pretty much nailed that. So the next update will have that. So let's go into some of the characters that my artist and just things have changed so much. So here we go. It's one of the characters here who was one of the mercenaries and things like that. I really like this design. And you know what I mean? You guys can zoom in or do whatever and all that sort of thing. But he's a mercenary character. I really like the his eyes. He kind of has that Japanese thing, sometimes where they don't draw the eyes and stuff like that. But he uses a big cleaver butcher knife. I was probably going to change that to make that a little bit more intimidating, but he was the son of a butcher and that wasn't cutting it. So he decided to become a mercenary and that sort of thing. So there's that character there. This character right here was going to be one of the trainers for Enzo, my main character. You could see here she's got like this dual like spear kind of thing, kind of like a Namanaga kind of thing. So very I once again love the design. She's got that little scar on her eye from combat and things like that. So she's older, and I was going to explain that later on. There's that from her. This is an enemy character, kind of like also as well as a kind of like jokey character or whatever. But he uses tonfas and that sort of thing. I love the overalls and the shoes and stuff like that, and the big burly guy. And I didn't get a chance to, because I started to play around with colors and stuff like that as far as like concept and designs of certain characters, but I didn't get a chance. I probably could still, but here's the thing, people. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use these characters, because if the artist who created these is not the same artist, it will look a little different, and there's this other stuff going on, whatever. So this is another enemy character using like a flail, as you see here, and a sword, and yeah, crazy character there. I like the female version of these characters. They're pretty wicked looking. But yeah, she has the chain, like the bolo chain that you throw and it wraps around. And this like fork trident kind of spear thing. And I really love the consistency with the shin guards with the spikes. Really cool. Really, really cool. Really cool. But yeah, I love this. Love, 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 love. Great artwork. Great design. This is a relatively new character. And I love this pose, and I love the fingers. Like, I like that. That's really cool. And I was going to do, so much more. These were drafts and designs, and yes, they were going to be in color. Yes, they were going to be in the story and the cards and the merchandise and all the other things that I had planned. But who knows? You know what I mean? But yeah, this guy is a good guy. He's actually a general. I was going to change that axe because it looks a little weird, just, so short or whatever. But what a great design. I love the armor and just everything about it. It's just, to me, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. So yeah, I told you, I was playing around with colors. So yeah, this is, a character I was just starting to, this is what I was, this is what I was doing, coming up with, the color sets. Cause right now it was all kind of manga based. You know what I mean? This was originally going to be a manga, but I'm not calling it a manga anymore. It might be manga inspired, anime inspired, that sort of thing. But, it will not be, 100%, black and white and that sort of thing. Like trying to move forward. But yeah, working out the flesh tones. Just, I know there's not any shadows or anything, but I was really just trying to get an overall concept of the color scheme. Like I didn't get the shoes yet, or did I? Was that right? Yeah, I think so. So remember the character I showed you with the butcher knife? He's part of the mercenaries. This is their color scheme. It's red and black and white and gray. Like that's kind of the colors and that sort of thing. And this guy is a friend of his. And the reason why I'm not giving you names because they might change. And also too, like I said, the artists change and that sort of thing. I have my main characters. These are side characters or, not the true villains, but, side characters as well. And he uses this like harpoon kind of like spear. And he's a son of a fisherman. So the idea is that I was going to have like a tight-knit group of like three. Like one was a butcher, one was a fisherman, and I forgot what the third one was. Maybe a farmer, and he uses a farming tool. So you see what I mean? Butcher knife, harpoon, and like, I don't know, maybe a scythe or something like that too. Or something like that. But yeah, they were all going to be in this color scheme and that sort of thing. And same thing, I was coloring this character, and I really loved the way this turned out. Once again, there's no shadow and depth and things like that. But yeah, me trying to just figure all of that out. And here's another character. Same like the one before. Yeah, I think I've shown this character before, but maybe not in color, or at least, me not playing around with it. Starting to do like the orange, like here, I was trying to, red eyes. I was starting to get more exotic because, once again, inspired. So you will definitely see characters with green hair and red hair and peach hair and purple hair or purple eyes and orange eyes. And so it's not going to be conventionally what we see here on Earth. So they'll be all kind of color hair and color eyes and all that. So there's that. Like, for example, this character right here, which is one of my favorites. And my wife actually helped me pick out the colors for this. So I love the green here with the blue, with the white, and the purple. Just awesome. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this character again. And I just love, 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 love. You know what I mean? The hairstyle. There's a little blue there. But yeah, this is all very, very cool. I guess I should have zoomed in on all of these, but you know, maybe another time. You know, like I said. Okay, so there's that. Yeah, I even did some weapons. There's the sword. Here's an axe. Because I was going to give them names. These are all from like sketches and ideas that you notice it has like the purple crystal, and I was going to explain all that. This is dual swords. If you guys have seen Full Metal Alchemist and King Bradley, remember those dual swords he had? Oh, so awesome. So awesome, right? So that's them. And then here's this axe. So there you go. I was doing a write-up on each one of these. All of these weapons are kind of special. You know what I mean? Used by the Warlocks. So, yeah. Swords, axes, heavy swords, dual swords, double-bladed axes. And I didn't show right here, but I have them as dual axes as well. You got dual swords and you got dual axes and that sort of thing. So yeah, I was doing some coloring and creating on these guys. We don't know. I was even doing soldiers and troops. So we've got these guys right here who are mostly like in the desert and that sort of thing. So I kind of gave them that vibe. Sword, you know, this hood to protect against the sun, a little visor, hood, you know, pull over, that sort of thing. At least that's the idea. So yeah, all of these sketches, but the detail, really love, really, really. So yeah, these were soldiers, troops that were. These are evidently pirates. As you can tell, big burly character with a hammer. Love it. Love his size. Love his outfit. And then you've got the nimble pirate there with a whip. You know what I mean? And a blade for up close, or she can trip you, stab, or throw, or what have you. So one quick and deadly. And also too, I like the asymmetrical thing. Like it's got a little knee brace. She does. Right there, and the other one does not. And I love the mask, you know, with this little pirate hat there. Yeah, archer, swordsman with the shield. And I was kind of combining a couple of cultures here on this one, a little bit of Japanese, a little bit of European, if you can tell. Just trying to see what they look like. For the most part, I like it. You know what I mean? And I think with color, it would just really, you know what I mean, accentuate it a little bit more. But yeah, these were concepts and designs. These were latest artwork. So I wasn't, even though I haven't posted in a month, still busy. And I was doing write-ups on all of these, like. And I've shown her before. She's an assassin. And this big burly guy he has robes and everything, but he's got this weapon called the Yari, which is a Japanese spear. I think some of you have seen it before. But anyway, yeah. He's got this robe that comes over, but this is all metal. This is, he's pretty well armed, and he can just be in the thick of it, slinging this thing around, slicing things, kind of almost like a berserker, almost kind of, well armed, really tough character. And then this one, quick, nimble, dual swords, very fast, very speedy, hit and run techniques, stuff like that. So yeah, I even had my little character, kind of like a mascot there. This is Dot. And one of the first I actually created in all color, and there's some, I don't have it anymore, but the character that I showed you with the green hair and the blue and the purple and the white, this is her companion. And obviously you see the gemstone in the forehead, which evidently has some kind of powers and stuff like that. That is teleportation. I will give that away. So the green, like, infinity gem on his freaking forehead. Let me move that. Can create portals. Not portals. Portals, teleports, and that sort of thing. So the cool thing is that this little thing can teleport anywhere pretty much in the realm if he remembers or thinks about it or can see it. So extremely powerful. So you can tell how that would come in handy. So we'll see in the future if we'll go forward with that. But yeah, I will. I think I will be able to do some of this, salvage some of this. And the last thing I was working on, and then I'll wrap this up. So I want to say thank you for making it this far, if you made it this far. Yeah. Is the factions. These are the major factions that were in the realm. This is the Royal Regime. This is the Aeon Alliance. This is the Maniac Mercs. Remember the ones I was showing you in the guy with the harpoon with the red and black and white, which I actually going to even add in gray, like a dark gray, because they do assassin work, at night, like black. Red is the, intimidation, blood, kind of represents that sort of thing. And you see this hood right here, or not hood, the skull right here. When they do like assassinations, they actually have this hood that they pull over that just kind of drapes over. If you've seen the old Cobra Commander, where it just kind of drapes over his head and like dangles down, almost even like Scarecrow. So it doesn't fully come over like that. It kind of comes down and just kind of drapes, and it's all tattered down at the bottom, representing these teeth right here. So it's going to look really wicked, really evil, and really sinister. I can't wait to draw those. So yeah, they put it on, and it just kind of, drapes over and dangles, and the bottom half will just look like the teeth there. Can't wait to do that. This is the Tecma Templars, which I really haven't talked that much about. Basically, there is a fantasy technology thing. I call it Tecma. So this is their symbol and that sort of thing. And this one was the Dual Disciples. And I love how that turned out. I really, 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 really love the Dual Disciples faction logo. Got the royal. I'll tell you what some of these means, so that's why that's there. But the royal regime, the Dual Disciples, one reason why I love it is it's kind of like hand over fist. They greet you with a hand open. They're one of the good guys, one of these helping factions, but they will defend themselves. They will fight, and that's why the fist is the right and to the left. You know what I mean? Come with you with honor and respect and peace, but next is the fist, hand over fist. So I really love that sort of thing. What I love about the Royal Regime's logo is that the red swords indicate royal bloodlines. Since they're both royalty, we put our swords down and we form a bond against commoners. And the yellow swords represents gold or wealth. And they both bring their swords up together, as in that's what we fight for. So we bond over royal bloodlines and we fight or obtain. We go out into the world to get more wealth and gold. So that's the royal regime. So that's kind of the message with that. Let's see, I'm at 20 minutes. You know what? I'm just going to wrap it up there. I could tell you what this means, the axe and the diamond there and the star and the arrows, but I will save that for another time. So anyway, I wanted to just give a gigantic just splurge of images that you saw that was from the manga. It was in color, it was weapons, it was soldiers, main characters. I've shown that before. You can look at the past Klash Warlocke Watcher, which I will still be doing, because I will reveal the new logo later. But anyway, we'll see what happens, and I'll be making up other uploads. Anyway, thanks for listening. This is Rasuke.